new Quechua quick hiker ultralight 2 tent. It's supposed to be a 2-person backpacking tent, so we'll see how quickly and easily it goes up, and we'll have a look at the size of it. I've weighed it. It's weighed it in at just over 2 kilos. It's supposed to be just under, but I suspect there'll be bits and pieces in there that don't need to actually be in with it. As you can see, quite compact. So let's get it opened up and see how it works. Okay. It's got a main outer bag and another bag, which I suppose if you were putting it in your rucksack, it would be fine in that. Some fairly detailed instructions on how to erect it. So we'll go ahead and follow those. First step is going to be to get it out the bag and unroll it. Peg bag. So, a couple of spare guy ropes. Repair sleeve, and some rather nice DAC pegs. I have the pre-attached holes. These are the DAC holes with extruded joints, so they shouldn't split as easily as some brands. Neat little ball on the end there to go into the full sleeve, and this is a one-sided full sleeve, so it's a blind ending full sleeve, so I should be able to push the entire full through from this end. That's it, reached the end there. It should just erect. And then it clips in at this end. Right, that's the top. One thing I'd say about these pegs is that they're very strong. I don't think they're going to bend at all, but they're actually quite uncomfortable to push into the ground. So I think using something, if it's harder ground, I think you'd get away with hammering them in with a stick or something, because they're quite uncomfortable. I've got a mark on the palm of my hand just from putting in those few. We'll have a look around the tent and see some more of the features. Looking around the side of the tent, it looks a wee bit on the baggy side, and I've just realised I've missed out these two little ties here. So the main guy ropes, well, almost all the guy ropes, come from one point, loop round the peg, and come back to it, and then they have a sliding adjuster, so it'll tension both sections. I imagine when the wind hits this, it'll keep the tension in the two parts quite even. It'll avoid stressing the pole unduly. Okay, looking at the tent from the back, we have these short upright poles built into the tent. So 3 gallops on the back, then we have a ventilation area in there. So it stands quite vertical, that, which I like. That's going to mean it's not impinging on the sleeping compartment too much. Again, the back edge, 3 gallops along the back, and these built-in vertical poles, which I presume this is going to be the foot end of the tent. And so again, it shouldn't be touching down too much on your feet. Looks like there's quite a good run off there for water to come straight off, and some ventilation. So that's all looking pretty good so far, well thought out, as I found other Quechua tents to be. Right, let's have a look at the tent from the inside. So we're at the side here, that's where the pole attaches. We've got some spring poles to open the side door. There's a door on each side, so both people have an entrance and a little boot porch. So the door will go up, and we go iron toggle arrangement. So we'll get inside, and then see we've got a fully insect proof inner, which also opens and goes up out of the way. Yeah, so that's the entrance. See a bit better. There's not a huge space in here, but there's enough for a reasonable sized rucksack. Get your boots there. I don't think it's big enough to cook in, but what you could do if it was really horrible is the inner will come away from the outer. There's a iron toggle there, and it is just attached to the inside. It's hanging off the outer, so you could roll back part of the inner if you needed somewhere dry to cook. Yeah, let's have a look inside. Okay, well, it's nice and easy to get in and out of, because I can get my head out while I have my feet on the ground. So just in case I'm swinging my feet in. Right, I'm 6'1", so that's pretty good. It's marketed as a 2-back tent, and that's something I find with Quechua products. Yeah, there's certainly room for 2 people in here, because we've got the gear porches. Yeah, the gear can go outside. We're not expecting masses of room in a backpacking tent, but you know, we'd comfortably sleep 2 in here. Don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah, adequate ventilation. Lots of ventilation actually. You would need a good sleeping bag in the winter. It might be a wee bit drafty, but on the whole, that's looking pretty good. The fabrics are all very thin, but I've found similar tents to be very waterproof, with a few pockets and hooks about, so enough to get your empty tent bags, sleeping bag, compression sacks and things in without them getting wet. Right, so getting out the other side, a double-ended zips, so need to roll this out the way. I would say, having seen it in other tents, it would perhaps have been easier for getting in and out if the zip had opened along the top, so the door just drops down into the tent. I quite like that system. It's very easy to get in and out. You don't need to bother rolling things up. But that aside, there's the side door, and we're out. Having talked about this side and gear porches, there actually isn't a porch on this side, it's just a door. There's nowhere you can get gear at all there, so all the boots and gear would have to go at the other side. This side's just a entrance and exit. But handy nonetheless if the wind decides to change, or somebody needs to get up in the middle of the night, you don't have to disturb the other person. So looking at the tent from the head end, you can see those vertical poles make it possible to get your feet in without the outer collapsing down onto your feet, which is a problem I've seen with this design of single hoop tunnel tent before. So they've got that one beat. Yeah, I think this is going to absolutely do the trick. Okay, important bit with any tent is how easily and quickly it can put away. I think it is anyway. You want to get away in the morning, so let's. I don't think this will be too bad. I think the worst bit's going to be neatly tying up the guy ropes, and yeah, we'll give it a go. These pegs are a bit numb to pull out as well. Just watch your fingers on them. They're very strong, but I'm not entirely happy with their comfort in use. Yeah, while strong, I find these V-shaped pegs tend to get dirt caught in them, which could be a bit. You have to clean that out. And we've got the pole to deal with, so that just unhooks at this end, straightens out, and should be able to push it out from this end. Had easier tents to pack, but I've had much harder ones as well. Okay. Compression straps, which I've at least left long enough. That's it put away. Could have done that a bit neater. I'm sure I'll get used to it over time.